Hello everyone. Here I'm going to moisturize my face first, and I'm using this face shop product by Chia Seed, one of the amazing moisturizers that I have come across in recent times. It is amazingly well for every type of skin tone. So in case if you haven't tried and you're looking out for some good moisturizer, this is the one that I would definitely recommend. Thereafter, I am using a silicone based primer for my face, which is from Color Bar. I will mention the details about it in the description box below. I am trying to cover the T-zone. Yeah, here I'm trying to cover the T-zone area, which gets a little more oily and greasy. Now I am using the Kryolan concealer. I'm using this on top of my eyelids to make sure that the eyeshadow pigmentation comes out at its best. After using the concealer, I'm using, you can use any translucent powder. I'm using a banana powder from Benai, and just a slight sheer covering of powder dusting on top of the eyelid so that the eyeshadow glides very well. It doesn't stick onto the concealer. The palette that I'm using here is from Urban Decay, which is Naked 2, which is one of my personal favorites. It has an amazing collection of all earthy tones, all browns, and the shade that I'm going to be applying on my eyelid will be the second shade from the left in the palette, which is by the name Half Baked, and it is a lovely dull gold color. It doesn't look too stark after application, and at the same time it really pops up the eye makeup. That is what I really like about this palette. Then for the crease line, I am going to be using from the same palette the second last from the right hand side, that is by the name of shade Busted. I'm going to be using that on my crease line, blending it well with the golden, and then on the outer corner I will also be using black eyeshadow, which is from the same palette by the name of Blackout. You got to make sure that you are blending these colors very well so that there are no stark lines, there are no harsh lines on your eyeshadow, on your eyelids while you're applying this. Also, once you have done your upper eyelid, on your lower lash line, I'm going to be running the same brown and black. That's going to be very close to the lower lash line. Now on the brow bone, I'm going to be using a very subtle nude color from the same palette by the name of Roxy. I am just using this as a base, and then I'm using MAC palette from where I'm using the highlighter to highlight my brow bone. I'm using the same concealer on my lower lash line. Going to be dusting some powder beneath so that there are no creases, there are no lines. After dusting that off, I'm going to be running, as I said earlier, the brown and the black eyeshadow from the same Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. Now here I have used the chubby stick from Maybelline. That is the brow pomade, and the shade I've used is soft brown. Thereafter I'm going to be using the gel eyeliner from L'Oreal, and it's in black shade. It takes a little time, you know, to make sure that you're doing your liner well, and especially if it's a little winged liner. It gets a little difficult for me to make sure that I'm holding a mirror from one hand and trying to get as close as I can to the camera for you all to view it. But somehow I was not able to apply the liner well simultaneously, so I had to keep the mirror down. Please excuse me for that. But yes, I tried to get in a small winged liner. That is because I do not want too much of attention on the eye, because the coming makeup is going to be a little bold. So yeah, I don't want too much of attention near the eye area. After I have applied that on the upper lash line, I'm going to be smudging a little bit of the same gel liner on the lower lash line as well, so that it just gives you a little bit of definition to the eye. And it also locks the eyeshadow that you have applied. Thereafter, the star of this, you know, entire makeup would be a little bit of golden glitter on top of your upper eyelids. Now, this is the glitter that I am using. You can use any glitter, whichever is easily available to you. So this is something that I'm using on almost 3/4 of my eyelid. And got to make sure that you're very careful and there are no fallouts while you're applying the same thing. You can apply this with the eyelash glue, and yeah, it sticks pretty well. So yeah, just to make use a very little amount of lash glue, because if you're going to use too much of that, it's going to take time for it to dry. So yep, thereafter I move on to using this lovely Maybelline eyelash mascara, and this is a waterproof mascara that I'm using. This is one of the mascara which has been really raved about all this while, and still till date I feel this is one of the best mascaras that Indian drugstore market has to offer. And I think Maybelline is amazing as far as their mascaras are concerned. So I'm applying the mascara on the upper and the lower lashes. Got to be careful that you don't mess the lower lash line area while applying the mascara. So just be a little careful. Take your time and apply it gently. Here you can see I have done both my eyes. I haven't used any falsies here because not many people are comfortable wearing falsies. In case if you want a more dramatic look, you can definitely put in another coat of mascara on your lashes. Thereafter, I'm moving on to using the concealer in case if I want to hide any dark circles, any pigmentation around my nose area, lips. And thereafter, I'm using my favorite foundation, which is the Maybelline Poreless Foundation. My shade is 128, using the YBP Makeup Perfector, which is another favorite of mine. I've got so glued on to it that I've not really got back to using brushes for my foundation. It does an amazing job and it does it very, very quickly. So yes, after applying foundation on my face, I'm using the YBP Makeup Perfector to make sure that it is evenly spread and blended well. Pushing the product right in the skin, making sure that you are not missing out near the hairline. After doing that, I will be using concealer as a highlighter, which is again from Maybelline. One of my favorites once again. It's the light shade in and I think I messed up a little bit near my winged liner, so I shall correct that. So applying the same concealer all around wherever I need a little bit of highlight. I'm sure this is definitely looking a bit scary. But yes, the results of this is very nice. I would also suggest that, when you are doing this, you are either really very quick because the tutorial takes a little time. But if you're actually quite fast with it, it's good. Otherwise, it is advisable that you apply this highlighter, half of your face and then you cover the rest half. Because if it dries up, it's difficult to blend. Once you have done that, I'm going to be contouring my face a little bit. Not too dramatic contouring, as I don't want the attention to be, to the other features around the face. But at the same time, making sure that there is a little bit of dimension given to the face. So giving a little bit of contour around the cheek, my jawline area. Covering the nose a little bit around the forehead. Then I get on to using my favorite palette of Inglot for my blush. Here I'm going to be mixing the two shades, the first two shades, peach and pink. I like to use a little bit of more blush while applying because as the time progresses, the blush tends to fade a little bit and it gives a very flat look to your face. So I like to go a little heavy with the blush. And thereafter using my favorite Mary Luminizer highlighter on my cheekbones, tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and a little bit on the center of my forehead. After I've done that, either you can, powder your face. You can powder your face and thereafter use a setting spray to lock your makeup. Here comes another beauty, that is one of the bright fuchsia colors of Color Bar by the name of Tickle Me Pink 013. Hey guys, so this is the complete look. And in case if you have liked this, please do give this video a thumbs up. And do not forget to hit the subscribe channel and also hit the bell icon which is just next to the. I've just done a slight modification, changed the earrings to this and put a bindi. So you can do the same makeup look for something which is western or change it with the accessories to a completely traditional look. Until we meet again, take very good care of yourself. Bye-bye.